Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Cut and Mix. I'm Vanessa Hundley, aka DJ Audioprism, here with this show about entertainment and everything that helps make the magic happen. Today, I am joined by someone that I have known not only as an outstanding performer, but as an outstanding person as well, as somebody that I consider a friend at this point in my career. Ladies and gentlemen, she's a comedian, she's an actress, she does all kinds of hosting around the city for all kinds of variety of events, and she's a DJ. It is Miss Jessica It's All Good Williams.
Hello, everyone.
Jessica, I'm so happy you made it out today. We decided, because it is late August and we're in Georgia, that we would go very Southern style. So we got the biggest hats she could find in her closet, because all of my big hats are still packed up from a move. And then we found our lightest dresses, because you'll notice we have some cooling assistance out here, because when you're filming, you can't use fans, unless it's an analog fan.
An analog fan. I love it. Woo, we're taking it to old school Southern Black church today.
It is the oldest school. Ladies and gentlemen, she has conquered stages across America with her brand of clean comedy, and she talks about life and relationships and even bodily functions. And she's about to bring this to the big screen, which is part of what we're here to talk about today. So first and foremost, thank you for coming on. I would say, give us a quick overview of your journey as a comedian.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, DJ Audioprism, Vanessa.
That was a given. I wasn't waiting for that part.
Yes. So this journey actually started off way back in 2011. My first college, Spartanburg Methodist College. I went to two schools, College of Charleston and Spartanburg Methodist. And Spartanburg Methodist had me just come back and speak about chasing my dream. I came out to Atlanta originally with the hopes of becoming an actress. And they wanted to do kind of a past, present, and future kind of thing. So they had three speakers, and I was speaker number 2, representing the present. And so as I talked about my dream chasing and working out here, it was so funny due to the work that I used to do. I was a drama teacher. Along with drama teaching, I did children's birthday parties. And that in itself is enough to keep you rolling. So in talking about that, several people came up in the end and said, we loved it. The congresswoman who spoke before me said, I'm so glad I spoke before you. And several of them said they felt like they were listening to a real life comedian. And so I said, why not? Let's see how that goes. And so I spent almost a year trying to decide what direction to take, going to comedy left and right, really just studying. I bought a book that one day I'm going to finish reading. And because, when you learn, you got to read that.
Yes, you absolutely do.
And by 2012, I had my first performance, and then the official kind of coming out performance at Laughing Skull Lounge. And then by my 5th stand-up comedian performance, I already had my own comedy special. And from there, was just really able to kind of push that brand of a comedian and a producer almost like simultaneously at the same time. And here we are today. It's pretty cool so far.
Yes, being in comedy, it's funny how there's a lot of parallels with being a DJ. Is that if you're really flexible and you're really into doing a lot of things, you'll end up in a lot of different scenarios. Especially with the different types of crowds, and sometimes it's for little crowds, and sometimes it's for huge crowds. But it's very funny that you got into it kind of because of a chance remark that somebody made to you, because that's how I got into being a DJ. Was somebody just said one day, why don't you become a DJ? And I was like, I never thought about that. So I love it when somebody takes something that they recognize the talent in you, and then you realize that maybe I have that talent and I should go check it out a little bit more. So it's never a bad thing sometimes to listen to other people's opinions.
Yes, and it's funny, I never meant to become a DJ. I remember even when I met you, it was on a show that you were DJing, and then I saw you at the club, and I was like, oh, I know her, she's a cool chick DJ. And I'm always that, yeah, that's my DJ person. Like, that is me. Not once did I think of becoming a DJ until I accidentally won $1,000 in a karaoke competition. That DJ said, you should host karaoke. Got me started. Then, of course, I met you.
And one day she said, I'm learning how to host karaoke. And I said, really?
And she
you know.
took that and ran. Like, it's actually been quite the blessing. So I'm so glad I met you.
No, absolutely. And likewise, you know, when you find good people in this business, you really try to hold them close. And one of the things she did mention that I DJ'd on a web TV show, and that was Comics on Parole. And on that same network, which was American Hearts Radio, I then did my own show called the Audioprism Show, which was a great show that I had so much fun with music and talking to all different kinds of entertainers and everybody associated with the entertainment industry, like photographers and even tent specialists. I mean, there's a lot that goes into an event. So the next time you're out enjoying yourself, you can really think about that sometimes hundreds of moving pieces it takes to get a single day thing for even just 4 or 5 hours going. But on that show, which was my show, the music show, the Audioprism show, Jessica would come on and do these great minutes of comedy, and it was called An All Good Minute with Jessica It's All Good Williams, and I have a couple of those clips, and I think we should check out a couple of those right now.
I'm excited about this.
I promised you live comedy, so let's have It's an All Good Minute with Jessica It's All Good Williams.
I can't wait to see which form we bring Jerry Farber in here. I mean, there's so many options, right? Yeah. No? All right. So, I am Jessica It's All Good Williams, and I'm here to bring you that It's All Good moment. Now, you know I like to bring positivity. I like to add advice. And, of course, with it being April Fool's month, well, we might as well talk about relationships. That's right. I feel I'm qualified to give advice. So, what can we do to make our relationships more all good? Well, let's say you're having an argument. You don't like what your significant other is saying. How do you fix it? Kiss them dead in the mouth, like in mid-sentence. Like they could be like, I told you every time you throw your socks, and boom, shuts everything down, just like that. Might even change the direction of the conversation. You feel me? Yeah? All right. Now some of you are thinking, well, you know, Jessica, I just don't know how to appreciate my significant other. I try, it doesn't work out. Let me tell you the best way to appreciate a relationship. Don't have one. Yeah? Think about all the single people out there whining about their lives and how they ain't got nobody. If you go single for a very long time, when you find yourself in a relationship, again, it's going to be real good, at least for the first 6 months. And if you're thinking, well, how do I get ready for this? How do I prepare myself? Imaginary friends. Now, don't get me wrong. Back when you was a kid, you know you had one. So why not have an imaginary girlfriend or boyfriend? Go out on a date with yourself. Get 2 seats, 2 plates, 2 drinks. And let's be honest, some of you still got your imaginary friends floating around somewhere anyway. My name is Jessica It's All Good Williams, and it's been all good. And I always say, if it's good with you, it's good with me. If it ain't good with you, well, nobody was asking you in the first place. Have a good night. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and Happy New Year. I'm your girl, Jessica It's All Good Williams, and here's to broken resolutions. Yes. So, I always try to give a little positive advice to help people get through life. So today, the advice is take a break. And I don't mean that in like a candy bar kind of way. I mean, let's say you're in the middle of a situation you're not really a big fan of. No problem. Take a break. Take a mental pause. Having a moment at work? Not feeling it? Take a break. Kids, homework? Of course, take a break. Are you on a bad date? Ladies, bathroom, take a break. Now, some of you are thinking, last time someone said, let's take a break, they included the words need and space. Honey, you just got dumped. I can't help you. But keep in mind, the point of this advice is you are the master of the amount of time and how long this breaks last. So it could be a few minutes, a few years. It goes on with however you feel. For example, my parents told me to cut the grass, and I said, sure, I'll take a break. That was in 1999, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jessica It's All Good Williams, and I always say if it's good with you, it's good with me, and if it's not good with you, well, nobody was asking you in the first place. Enjoy the year.
That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed those minutes, and I'm actually in the process of putting them all together into a collection. So we can have an All Good Minute collection with Jessica. It's All Good Williams.
It's gonna be a bunch of minutes.
I have a whole bunch of minutes. Yeah, I've been on the show for 2 years, so we've got several minutes.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yes, it was a very good time, and but this is why we're trying to make it so that you have a whole hour. It's an All Good hour. That might be the title of her next show, because she's already got a title for this show. So, all right, ladies, let's see. So, clean comedy, that is your focus.
Right.
How do you feel that sticking with the clean format has helped or hindered your career?
I'm going to tell you right now, it's done nothing but helped. And there's plenty of people who do enjoy sharing their opinion on why I shouldn't stay clean, and if you know me well enough, you know there's plenty of directions I could go.
Oh yeah.
But I feel what I have is a gift, and when you have something, you don't want to taint it. Coming from a theater background, I was taught to really respect the stage. Mm-hmm. And funny thing, I actually met George Wallace in Las Vegas. When I shook his hand, he said, "Keep it clean. Clean's where it's at." I met him through a friend who knows him.
Yeah.
So the fact that he said that's where the money is, it's actually caused me to want to get other comedians to understand the importance of clean. Clean comedy can go anywhere.
Yes.
The other kind can only go between a certain time slot for a certain crowd at a certain age. Clean comedy, your kids can come, your grandma can come, your mother-in-law who you've been trying to impress, and more people are willing to pay for it, because I can go into the clubs, yes, but I can go into the churches. So that makes you much more marketable. And it's very flexible, and it's very important that even if you're not a clean comedian, that you get a clean set, because I have comedians I want to hire now, but I'm not sure of their clean work, and a lot of people have a different perspective of what clean is.
Oh gosh, yeah, there's so many different levels of what's allowably clean. Even as a DJ, we run into that. And she's a DJ. She commiserates me when you're going through. We get DJ services, and that's where we get a lot of our music from, because it just changes so fast. If we had to go out and buy every track, we wouldn't be in the business anymore. However, different levels of clean apply. So, somebody's B word is not somebody else's B word, and that's how that goes sometimes.
Bananas?
Yes. Yes. All about bananas.
Them bananas.
So do you feel, clean comedy is something that obviously goes across, but as a female, do you feel like there's more supportive platforms now in comedy? And is that more available to you as a clean comedian versus like if you were to go? Do you feel like there's as much support in the less corporate sector of comedy?
I would say still yes. First of all, female comedians are on the rise.
Yes.
There's so many TV shows now featuring these comedians. They have their specials everywhere. Mm-hmm. In fact, my husband and I have only been to a few professional comedy shows. Most of the things we go to are kind of your local comedy shows. But for well-known superstar comedians, we've gone to more female than not. And so I think the market is growing as more people are kind of getting more conscious of the fact that women are here, we're great, and we are funny. Plenty of people look at me like, "Oh my God, you're funny." I'm like, no, I'm real sad, because that's what comedy's about. Like, come on. But there's more opportunities, and as a female comedian and as a black female comedian, a lot of people expect me to not be clean. And a lot of our famous black females, like there's Wanda, there's Monique, like we know them, but we also know that you can't always have their stuff on at certain times. And so just because of the popular black female comedians you think of, people assume I'm not clean. And then once they meet me, they're like, "Wait a minute, you're like a unicorn." Oh my gosh. I'm like, yes, I know. Hire me at your family reunion.
Yes.
So I can understand why so many people think I should go that way. And when I get famous enough, who knows? Maybe I'll do that one show where you can't bring your phone and it's like $300 a ticket, where you get to hear me say one bad word. But I did try saying a bad word on stage once, and it just didn't fly for me. So this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where it's at.
Yeah.
Clean female comedian.
I can see where that's something you'd really have to commit to make it.
Yeah, it was awkward for everybody. They all looked at me like, as I looked at myself, like.
Now, most of your comedy performance is live, but you do some recorded things, I've noticed. So how do you prepare differently for a recorded show versus a live show?
That's a good question. Coming from a theater background and then trying to move towards film, your auditioning for a film is different from your auditioning from stage. So kind of thinking of it in that aspect. But one thing a lot of people I realize might not have noticed about my comedy unless they're just really paying attention, I have a strong improv background. So what I prepare is not always what I think is going to happen on stage. And in preparation, I kind of leave room for that, leave room for the change and the things that could happen. And when you're on camera, there's a lot more time you have to consider. So I think I'll be a little bit more strict on myself when it comes to the actual camera. Yeah. But trust me, things change on camera too.
Oh yes, absolutely. I've quite a bit of experience with that myself. And guests don't show up sometimes, or oops, you ran out of battery power on there, so all of a sudden you have to switch to your phone and catch the rest of it.
But then there's also not the live audience in most of the things I've been in, because I respond quickly. Like, I feed off the audience. So it is easier to kind of stay with exactly what you have when you're on camera, because there's no one laughing and giving you something.
I'm an energy-based person myself, too, so I completely understand that. It's almost like you have to think harder a little bit when you have to plan it, because when you're an energy feeder, you just get inspired and swept up in the moment, and it just comes to you, and it becomes a natural, like, boom, boom, boom kind of thing, where you're not really having to think about it. It just flows. But that also comes with practice, too. You're not going to get up the first time on your stage, anything, and flow most of the time, as you're learning your way through a new career. So, in the live aspect, of course, performing is what keeps you going. Performing is what keeps you fresh. The more you perform, the more
I pay my bills.
The more you pay your bills, exactly. So let's talk about some of the live shows that you're doing now that happen on a somewhat recurring basis.
Okay. One that I am very proud of is the Unboxed comedy series at Out of Box Theater in Marietta. That show, we are now past our first full year. So we started summer 2018.
Yes, I remember.
And here we are, summer 2019, still going strong. We've got shows already booked into 2020.
Yes.
I have tried in the past to get things going, and it only would last but so long. And I got okay with getting let down and stuff like that. But to have this consistent formula and format with this theater has been wonderful. I bring in 2 comedians. This week, actually, I've got one coming in from South Carolina. So it'll be my second time having an out-of-towner. And it's just really gone well, because the things I've been able to do with myself and promoting my own thing, I'm allowing to share that with other comedians. So now we even have a bit of a fan base for that show, and they're so excited that they already know me once they get there. Now they're ready to see these new comedians. And that's another reason I tell comedians, listen, there's people that want to see you. They want that clean stuff. You can get more fans coming to this. So the Unboxed comedy series has been a lot of fun. I guess this would be like our 6th show maybe with the series. I've probably done almost 20 shows with the theater now. And then I'm in Alpharetta. I've got this show called Comedy on the Fly. We just had our 4th show. It's been monthly so far so good. And I usually bring about 4 comedians, maybe another extra if someone just wants to work out some material. And really, it's about bringing people to comedians and comedians to those new fans.
Making the connections happen. Because, we all need some laughter, for sure, right now. So you do a lot of live, and now you set your sights on the big screen.
Yes.
We're talking Netflix or Amazon Prime or big, large scale
Hulu, HBO, Rocket. I don't know what that thing is, but keep hearing it. Something.
So what brought you to the point where you're finally ready to grab the bull by the horns and start saying, I'm going to put it out there and try to make this a happening thing?
Well, as I mentioned, I kind of came in right off the bat doing my 1-hour comedy special. So I started at 45, went to an hour. And that was in 2013 that I had that first show. Here we are in 2019. It's been 6 years. I've managed to sell out shows, pack out rooms, and I feel I have something to say to the whole world. and it's clean enough to let anyone listen to it. But I try to include a lot of positive things that I honestly believe can change the world. Just the way people have come up and talked to me after shows to share an experience similar to something I've said, I feel like I can do so much with that.
Yeah.
And then my manager turned to me one day and said, Jessica, I'm tired of you not being famous. Like, you should have been discovered already. You should be on this level. So we came up with a game plan to raise money, to record a much bigger scale show than what I've done in the past. And we're going to put it out there. We're going to pitch it. We've got some awesome people that we're trying to talk with, including maybe a person with a very nice award in Hollywood. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Because we do have certain goals we have to reach to prove to them that we're worth their time.
Right.
But the way that I knew I was on the right track in the beginning, when you're doing the right thing, it comes to you.
Yes.
By my second performance, I packed out Laughing Skull. There were more people there for me than anyone else. Second time as a comedian. And people who know me, people who've seen me, they all know I'm a positive person. They know I'm a person who believes in happiness for others. And they know if you come to anything with my name on it, you can have a good time, period.
Yeah.
So I feel that if I could do it on that scale, then I could do that on the big scale, and I can start doing this across the country. And even that, I've actually performed across the country in colleges and other organizations and events. And these people are always like, "You should come back here." Granted, half the time it's in the middle of the woods. I'm like, I can't do the middle of the woods. I know it looks like I got woods back here, but there's more stuff back there. But to visit for a while, so if I can do that across the country, then I can share this with everyone. So
I was gonna say, Georgia, you're never really out of the woods.
No.
Ever. But yes.
You got way out. You gotta go way
out. But no, that is so. It's always good when you can say, I have something to say, and I think I have something to say that people want to hear.
Yes.
You know, and communication is such a valuable skill, being able to communicate with people. And that's, as a comedian, that is something you ultimately have to do, is communicate and connect with your audience to really help get your point, your style across. Sorry, go ahead.
Got excited. As I mentioned, when I first came out here as an actor, that was my ultimate goal since I was like 12 years old. I felt that if I could perform and become a person that you regularly saw on television, people want to listen to what I have to say.
Yeah.
But it was in 2011, when that was like 26, 27, where I realized people would pay me for what I had to say, like I didn't need someone else's script, which is still mind-blowing to this day that people care like that. But it's also why I take what I do seriously. When I'm on stage and I have that microphone in my hand, I feel I owe it to you. You took the time, the money, the gas, the effort to come out and see this show. You're going to have a good time. You have to have a good time. So being able to do that, I've kind of left acting for the most part, and every now and again someone has me come out and do that, but I'm realizing I'm changing lives and affecting people by making them laugh.
Yes,
so,
which is scientifically good for your health.
I'm keeping y'all healthy.
Yes.
I'm like a workout.
Exactly.
And a diet.
Now, the title of your special is We're All Chocolate.
Yes.
And I actually had the chance to see the clip that where you were talking about We're All Chocolate. And that is what inspired the title for the show. And so I think we should take a little sneak peek at it right now and give them a little tiny sample of the Jessica Is All Good Williams experience and a preview of We're All Chocolate.
Gary said, Miss Jessica, I have an announcement. Okay, cool. Well, what's your announcement, honey? My grandma told me all the brown people. At this moment, I knew it wasn't going to get any better. All the brown people, God left them in the oven too long. Yes, stood up and said it. Class. Now, of course, all my students are freaking out like, oh no, Miss Jessica, it's not true. Because apparently I didn't know that. His big sister is sitting in the corner like, oh my God, why did you know we're not supposed to talk about what grandma talks about in public? I think Gary looked around and realized, I think I said said something wrong. Let me fix this. Because then he raised his hand and said, wait, Miss Jessica, I have another announcement. All the brown people, there we go with that brown people, are cool because they're made out of chocolate. I can work with that. So, after he said this, I decided, let me have my little Martin Luther King moment, let me affect these kids in a positive way. And so I got down on his level, because when you talk to kids, you gotta get down on their level. Okay, Gary. So if all the brown people are chocolate, what about the not so brown people? And he's like, white chocolate. So I stood up and said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, according to Gary's theories, we are all chocolate. And the kids were like, yeah, Miss Jessica, that's awesome. I thought, can I lick you? No.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, we're all chocolates. And you can find out more about your status of chocolate if you come to the show. Actually, you could come to the show. You could be part of the live taping, actually. You could absolutely be part of the show. Yeah. And you could watch the show afterward. And then you could buy the DVD. And then you could ever sign the DVD. And then you guys can keep watching the show.
Yes.
And then we'll be all chocolate forever.
I love it. I love it.
And it really, I love the fact we really need to find ways to find our commonalities more as people. I was listening to a great podcast earlier, and I'm not going to get into it, but, a lot of people's ideal of thinking in terms of, race and class and everything else was set, back in the 1900s and such by literature, and was also actually actively trying to be disproved by the 1920s by a whole other group of renegade scientists that came about and said, hey, everybody wants to think that just because the color of your skin is different or your blood, different because you came from another country or something like that, we're not physically different, except just in the human ways that we're physically different. And
we're different because our bodies adapted to the areas we were in.
Yes.
You go to places where you need darker skin to deal with things like the sun. Mm-hmm. My husband is extra white, as I like to call him. And whenever we go on a cruise, I'm reminded how my poor baby, I'm just trying to hide him from the sun. Like, hide under my chocolate skin, baby, I got you.
Exactly.
So, in my comedy, one thing I've noticed compared to a lot of other people when they joke about things like race and differences, it's always very negative, but mine comes from a positive place.
Right.
So instead of anyone feeling uncomfortable about what they identify with in those sets, in my comedy, it's, that is funny. I've been through this, and it doesn't make anyone feel bad, Yeah. So that was kind of one of those things I wanted everyone to be able to come to the show and laugh. And as you see in that skit, and that was based off of an actual live thing. Like most everything is 95% true in my comedy. Sometimes you got to tweak that last little punchline. But that is a true story, 100% true, that happened in class, and it was because kids are starting to learn the difference in the color of skin, and so I want to make it a very positive opportunity to learn.
Can I say, though, ladies and gentlemen, when you work around as many people as we do, and as many different types of, because we work around all different kinds of crowds. Everybody, rich, poor, white, black, young, old, fill in the blanks of everything in between. And yeah, y'all really aren't that much different.
No.
Really, you're not.
You can tell in karaoke. The last karaoke night I had, there was probably about 6 different races involved with this just one. It was a slow night. But everybody wanted to sing karaoke, but everybody was scared to sing karaoke, and a lot of people sung off key. Yeah. We all sing off key sometimes, right?
Absolutely.
Unless you're one
if it's bad but enthusiastic, it's still amazing. I'm totally game with that. But all right, so back to the task at hand. Mm-hmm. How can people support the show to get this thing on the airwaves?
Well, as we mentioned, we are raising a heavy-duty amount because of what we're trying to do this thing. We want a big theater. We want the professional cameras and editors and things like that, a DJ to get the show kicked off. So that costs money. Yeah. That costs money. The marketing costs money. Mm-hmm. And so we've put out a GoFundMe. and at this point, I still can't believe how many people have already donated. Just a little bit goes a long way. And so if you go to GoFundMe and you look up comedy, as of now, I am the second comedy show that comes up. The second one that pops up.
Okay, we're going to put the link right here across the bottom
Beautiful.
now. We're going to leave this up for the little next couple of minutes. Yeah, it's going to be right here.
You check that out.
Somewhere
See,
down
look,
here.
get all those letters, get the numbers, get the dashes and the symbols, get it. But with that, it'll allow us to not only raise the amount of money we're trying to get, but then those big names that promised if we raise a certain amount they'd come on board.
Yeah.
We get that, and I don't know if a lot of our donors realize it, but we are sending out gifts for every donation. So you could get a thank you card or an autographed picture that one day is going to be worth tens and tens of dollars and maybe hundreds and hundreds of dollars. T-shirts, different paraphernalia. And if we find that we can get some of those really big donors, then people can start getting credits in this film.
Yes.
So, whether you donate like a ton of money because you got it, or you just want to throw in $5 to help out, we appreciate every single thing.
Absolutely.
And there's more details at my website. Can I put my website out there?
Absolutely.
Jessica, it's allgoodwilliams.com. If you go there, there's actually a link set up for GoFundMe, so you can kind of see what's going on there. You can actually see a list of our donors. Every time we get a donor, we add them to the website.
So yes, you'll be immortalized and thanked immediately.
Yes, because when I'm at home or my manager calls, I'm like, yes, I know, they donated. I can't even know they thought my company was donating. I thought they've been to a show when they're donating. So, and hopefully those donors will be sitting in the audience when the time comes, because we just finished talking about the game plan to thank those donors during the actual show as well.
Absolutely. Definitely want to show your appreciation for anybody and everybody that supports you.
I get so emotional.
You can't entertain without fans.
Yes, and you can't do anything alone.
No.
You can't do anything alone.
Absolutely not. I try. I really do. It does not work out very well. And then I go find people better at it than me and make it happen. Well, it was so awesome having you. I know you've got a show tonight that you've got to get ready for because, it never ends when you're popular.
This whole week, I have a show every day but once this whole week. So,
well, thank you for tackling the Georgia heat to make this happen.
Yes.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, I've been packing and moving for months, which means I've mostly been looking at the inside of a house, a box, or a truck. So when she said, can we do this outside? I said, yes, please. Please, we can do this outside. And, so we've got this. So I'm going to say this, ladies and gentlemen, please go check out everything Jessica It's All Good Williams. Find the GoFundMe page. Let's get together and make this a happening thing because we are all chocolate, and I think it would do a really, really great service to the world to have a show that teaches the rest of the world just how chocolate we are. So thank you so much for joining me today on Cut and Mix.
Thank you for having me, Vanessa.
I absolutely look forward to watching all the developments that happen along the way. And ladies and gentlemen, join me again next time for an extra special episode of Everything Entertainment on Cut and Mix. I am Vanessa Hundley, a.k.a. DJ Audioprism. This is Jessica It's All Good Williams, comedian extraordinaire. We'll see you at a future point in time.
Yay!
I call that a done.
I feel like that's a done.